Age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emmanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt a shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emmanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
Microsoft canceled Claude Code licenses for thousands of engineers this year. The reason was not performance. The reason was the bill. Yes, even Microsoft's worried about the bill. Some seats hit $2,000 a month per engineer. And here is the part that nobody's really talking about out loud. 70% of the tokens those agents burn are pure waste. Not the model's fault, not the vendor's fault, the engineer's fault. If you run Claude Code, Cursor, Codex, or anything like them for your marketing team or your agency, this is the episode to listen to before next month's invoice lands. Tell you, the consumption of tokens has been a pretty ridiculous learning curve for me, and I kept just increasing my account and the cost of my account. So I just kept getting bigger and bigger dollar amounts, and those costs, both inside Claude but also inside of a tool like Replit, they will eat you up in no time, and it's critical to get data about where you're spending your tokens and how to use best practices to not burn so many on useless things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome back to Marketing in the Age of AI. I'm Emmanuel Rose. Today's episode is about tokens. The tokens your AI tools are burning, while most of that spend is waste, and what to do about it before the bill becomes board level. Here is one line I want you to walk away with. Your AI bill is not a vendor problem. It is a hygiene problem. And hygiene is a skill you and your team can learn this week and use some tools that are pretty smart. Here is what we cover. 1, what a token actually is and why your bill keeps climbing. 2, the companies and tools shaping this market in 2026. And 3, the 5 numbers every marketing leader should know. 4, a 5-step playbook your team can run this week. So let's get into it. What is AI token use and why now? We'll start with where you are right now. You opened a $20 subscription. You wrote a few subject lines. The bill stayed small and nobody asked questions. That was the ordinary world. A token is a chunk of text, roughly 3 to 4 characters. Every word you type to Claude, every file Cursor reads, every line of output Codex prints back at you, all of it counts as tokens. You pay for input tokens. You pay for output tokens. You pay every single time. In 2024, this did not matter much for marketers. The tools were cheap. The use cases were small. The bill stayed inside that low-level $20 subscription. In 2026, that has changed. And the reason is AI agents. An agent is not a chat window. An agent reads files, runs commands, retries when it fails, and puts in more and more context every turn. A single 50-turn agent session burns roughly 1 million input tokens. Now, not a typo, 1 million tokens of input for one session. On Claude Opus 4.6, that session costs about $6. On GPT 5.4, it costs about $3.10. And on Cursor's Composure 2, fast is about $1.80. Now multiply that by 25 marketers on your team times 4 sessions a day times 20 working days a month. You are no longer in the $20 subscription territory. You are looking at a 5-figure annual bill. Then came the call you could not ignore. April 2nd, 2026, OpenAI moved Codex pricing to token-based credits. June 1, 2026, GitHub Copilot Pro and Pro Plus moved to credit-based flex billing, and Cursor restructured its plans up to a $200 Ultra tier. And Microsoft canceled Claude Code seats company-wide because the per engineer cost hit $500 to $2,000 a month. Our free lunch has ended. Here's why it matters for you. Right now, in the very end of May 2026, the bill is finally showing up in your cost center, not just the engineering one. Agency runs these tools too for client deliverables. Brand teams run them for landing pages and creative variants, and the procurement conversation about what an AI-built deliverable costs to produce is starting this quarter. If you don't know what your token cost per deliverable is, somebody is probably about to ask you, and the answer, I don't know, is not going to land very well. 4 names that matter in this conversation today. First, Anthropic with Claude Code. Pro is $20 a month. Max plans are $100 and $200. Team Premium runs 100 per seat per month on annual. Anthropic's pitch is token efficiency. They built prompt caching into the API, which means content the model already read can be reread at 10% of the standard input price. Anthropic publicly claims Anthropic publicly claims caching can cut costs by up to 90% and latency up to 85%. Second, OpenAI Codex moved to token-based credits April 2 this year. OpenAI publicly claims 2 to 3 times better token efficiency per task than Claude Code. Independent benchmarks are still being argued about. The pricing model is the part that you care about. You are no longer on a flat fee. You are metered. Third, Cursor Pro is $20. Pro Plus is $60. Ultra is $200. Independent testing found Cursor uses 5.5 times more tokens than Claude Code for the same task. That's not a typo either, 5.5 times. Cursor's own documentation says daily agent users typically land between $60 and $100 a month, not the advertised $20. The gap between the sticker price and the real cost is the widest of any major tool. Fourth, and this one is the reason we are doing this episode, Agent Analyzer at analyzer.spec-kitty.ai. Agent Analyzer is a deterministic profiler built by the SpecKitty team. It runs on your machine. You start it with one command, npx-yes agent-analyzer at latest run, and it reads your existing agent logs from Claude Code, Cursor, Codex, OpenCode, Hero, Anti-Gravity, or Claude Desktop. It detects the exact leaks, context bloat, retry loops, wasted reads, and oversized output. It redacts your secrets locally before anything leaves your computer. Then it gives you an efficiency score and an estimated dollar amount of avoidable spend. Here is the part that I like. It turns those findings into a personalized setup pack, up to 7 custom skills, 3 slash commands, and a set of tool recommendations, all matched to the specific waste patterns it found in your sessions. Nice work, Robert Douglas. No account required. Raw logs stay local. Only a sanitized JSON report uploads, and after you review it, their tagline is, no LLM reads your logs. 0 model tokens are used to generate the report itself. If you have ever wondered exactly where your token budget is bleeding out, this is the scan you run. 5 numbers, each one with a so what for marketers. Number 1, 70%. That is the share of tokens wasted in agentic coding sessions based on analysis of 42 agent runs on a real code base published in April. So what? If your team's AI bill is $10,000 a month, 7,000 of it is paying for the context the model already had. Retries that should have been one shot and outputs nobody reads. Number two, 62%. That is how much of an agent bill is resent context. Not new work, resent context. So what? The single biggest line item in your token bill is paying the model to reread what it already read 30 seconds ago. Prompt caching fixes most of it. If caching is off, you are leaving 60% of your spend on the table. Number three, 90%, the maximum cost reduction from Anthropic's prompt caching, according to Anthropic's own documentation. One developer published his story of cutting his API spend from $720 a month to $72 a month just by adding caching. So what? The work to turn caching on is one configuration field. The financial impact is a 10x reduction. No other lever in the stack has those numbers. Number four, a 3-agent team uses about 7 times more tokens than a single agent session. So what? The minute you spin up parallel agents for speed, your bill compounds in a way no marketing director projected. If your shop runs multi-agent workflows, you need a metering dashboard, not a vibes-based monthly budget. Number five, $30. The bill on a 50-cent fix when the agent went into a retry loop and ran 47 iterations before somebody noticed. So what? Retry loops are silent. They do not feel expensive in the moment. They are murderous on a monthly basis. Every agent you run needs a hard limit and a human check before iteration 10. Here is what most people will not say out loud. The model providers are not gouging you. Anthropic, OpenAI, and the rest cut their per token cost by 10x over the last 2 years. The cost curve on inference is one of the steepest deflationary curves in any technology ever. Your bill is not high because the vendors got greedy. Your bill is high because your team is sloppy. 70% of the tokens burning in your agent sessions are operator error. They are copywriters reading the entire brand guide into context on every prompt. They are designers letting cursor rescan the same component file 14 times in a session. They are interns saying please and thank you to Claude, which is sweet and which also is costing you money. The next pricing announcements from Anthropic will not fix it. The next model release from OpenAI will not fix it. The fix is hygiene. Audit your logs, scope your context, cache your repeated prompts, set turn limits, restart sessions instead of dragging 90 minutes of dead context behind you. Stop complaining about the bill. The bill is the symptom. The waste is the disease. If you are a CMO, an agency owner, or a marketing leader running a team that uses these tools, 3 shifts are coming at you this year. Shift number 1, the invoice shock that hit Microsoft engineers is coming to marketing. Your team is the new heavy user of these agents. You are building landing pages with Claude. You are generating variants in Cursor. You're running content pipelines through Codex. Most of you are on Max or Pro Plus plans because they feel unlimited. They are not. Almost all of them are credit pool models in disguise as a mid-2026. And the moment you exceed the pool, the bill goes vertical. Shift 2, the discipline that wins is not creativity, it is hygiene. The marketer who learns to scope context, use prompt caching, restart sessions, and audit their logs will out-deliver and out-margin the marketer who treats the agent like a chat window. This is a skill shift, and it is happening fast. Train your team on it now. Shift number 3, this is becoming a procurement conversation. Inside the next 12 months, CMOs and CFOs will start asking what an AI deliverable actually costs to reduce, not what your subscription costs, what the deliverable costs. Agencies billing fixed fee for AI-built work will discover their margin lives or dies on token discipline. RFPs from sophisticated buyers will start asking for token efficiency data. The agency that can provide these real numbers from real logs will win the next 5 years of work. Here is the practical version of all 3 shifts. Your AI bill is now a margin conversation. Treat it like you treat ad spend. You would never run a Google Ads campaign without auditing CPA. You would never run a paid social budget without checking the ROAS. Stop running an agent stack without auditing your token efficiency. Here is a 5-step playbook your team can run this week. This is a plan that I will hand to my own team. Step 1, pull your last 30 days of agent logs, Cloud Code, Cursor, Codex, all log sessions locally by default. Find them on each of your team members' machines. If you do not know where they are, ask your most technical person. It is a 5-minute task. Run a local deterministic profiler. Agent Analyzer at analyzer.spec-kitty.ai is one option, and it is the one I point people to. Open a terminal, run the NPX. It scans your logs on your machine. It does not require an account. It does not upload raw data. It returns an efficiency score, dollar estimate of avoidable spend, and the scan is free. Identify the top 3 waste patterns in your report. For most teams, the top 3 are context bloat, redundant reads, and retry loops. Different shops have different fingerprints, which is why the scan matters. You cannot fix a waste pattern you cannot name. Turn on prompt caching for anything your team uses repeatedly. Brand guides, product specs, campaign briefs, style sheets. If your team writes the same intro paragraph into Claude 40 times a week, that text should be cached. Implementation is one configuration field in the API. If you use Cloud Code or Cursor, caching is on by default, but it only works when you stop dumping new context in every turn. Step 5, set a per task token budget. Pick a deliverable, landing page, email sequence, ad copy variant. Decide what it should cost in tokens. If a landing page should cost 30 cents to produce, anything coming in at $3 is a process problem, not a model problem. Audit this weekly. Coach the people who are over budget. Now picture the other side of that work. The published case studies are consistent. Teams that run this loop cut their agent spend by 50 to 70% inside 2 weeks. You deliver more, you deliver it faster, and your margin holds. That is the transformation. Avoid the cost of skipping it is just as real. The agency that never audits its logs, competes on price, watches its margins disappear, and ends up on the trade press layoff story in 2027. The waste does not announce itself. It just quietly eats your business. That is real money. That is real margin. And that is the entire episode. If you got value out of this episode, do one thing this week. Run a scan. Pick one team member, one log, open a terminal, run NPX from the analyzer, or go to analyzer.spec-kitty.ai to start. Then message me the efficiency score it gave you. I want to see the data. If you want to talk strategy on what AI is doing to your marketing operation, Strategic E-Marketing is taking on a small number of advisory clients this quarter. Find me at strategicemarketing.com. And if you have a question you want me to answer on this show, send it to me on LinkedIn. I read every message. I pick the best one each week. I'm Emmanuel Rose. This has been Marketing in the Age of AI. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.